Hi, I'm Nishtha and I'm from Group 15. So I'll start from the sensor handler. I have implemented the public class accelerometer handler, which is implementing the public event sensor event listener, which is used to receive notification from the sensor manager when new data arrives. And here I am setting up the values for the sensor. I have also implemented few public class method like register listener, which is used to register to listen to sensor, unregister, which will do the unregistration work, and the on sensor change method is called when there is some new sensor event or new reading from a sensor with exact same sensor values but new timestamps. And the member on accuracy change is called when the accuracy of register sensor has changed. And in database handler class, I have implemented the class database handler, which is extending the public class SQLite open helper. And here I am setting the parameter for the database, like the name of the database, versions, and the column values, column names which I'm going to use. And I have also implemented the few public method like on create, which is used to create a database first time when we create a database. And this method insert data is using to insert the values in the database, and the read data method is extract values from a database according to the count provided to that, which are ordered in the timestamp in descending order. And the count entries method which count the number of entries in the database.
Hi, I'm Samarth and I'll explain the main activity. In the main activity, you basically declare variables pointing to every UI element and the helper classes. I'll also explain one of the helper classes, that is graph handler. Before that, first, when we click on the run button, we see whether the run button was previously pressed, and so it only allows one click uh, at a time. It calls the update thread, and the update thread takes the variables from the accelerometer XYZ, and they are given to the graph handler. When we click on the stop button will uh, set the run pressed flag to false so that the run thread will be stopped and it will clear the graph. Then we have the upload button and download button listeners, which basically upload and download, and they will be explained in detail by my friends. In the graph handler, uh, we basically initialize a graph, and then we handle the graph through update and restore and clear. That is called from the main thread.
Hello, I'm Achal Shah and I'm going to explain you about what happens when an button is clicked. When an upload button is clicked, the set on click listener is called and it checks if the inputs are valid or not. If it is not valid, then it is returned, and if they are valid, then new thread is created wherein we are calling the upload files method, in which the get path is passed as an argument. The get path is the path wherein from where we are going to upload the database, which is Android data CSE 535 underscore assignment 2 group15.db. So now what happens in the remote file handler class? Here the upload file method is created, in which we are first setting the parameters over here, and then we are checking if the selected file is present or not. If it is not present, then 0 is returned, and if it is present, then we are creating a new file input stream. Then we are setting the URL to our server's URL, and then we are setting the allowing the outputs, allowing the inputs and other parameters over here. After that, we are setting a new data output stream, and then we are writing the bytes to the data output stream. First of all, we are checking how many bytes are available in the file input stream. Then we are creating the buffer size accordingly. After the buffer is created, we are then uh, writing the bytes that are read from the input file to the buffer over here. And after that, we are writing the bytes in the buffer to the output stream. In this way, we are also along with we also printing a log for checking the server response. If we are checking the server response code, if is 200 or not. If it's 200, then it indicates that our server status is okay and we can communicate with our server. In this way, we are uploading our file to the database, and then we are checking it for any other exceptions over here.
Hello, my name is Hena Shah and today I'm going to talk about the download or functionality of the app. When the download button is clicked, the on-click listener is called. Over here, if the input data is valid, then we create a new thread. In the new thread, download file function is called in the remote file handler. In the remote file handler, first we check if the SD card is present. If the SD card is present, then we create a new file in the download path. The download path is Android data CSC assignment to download. If the download path is not there, then we create the directory by this function. After that, we set the connection with the server. Over here, if the server connection is okay, we print OK on the log. After setting the connection with the server, we create a new file. We create a new output file. If the new output file is already exist, then we don't create it. If it does not exist, then over here we create the new file. After creating the new file, we set the connection with the input stream. After that, we simply write the output stream. We simply write the data in the output stream. After writing the data in the output stream, we close both the input and the output streams. If there is any exception, we print the message on the log. Moreover, after returning from the download file function, we update the graph according to the last 10 values in the downloaded file. Thank you.